The only thing more embarrassing than the Will and Kira situation is Corey reading this tweet all wrong. It was embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, and we're going to be talking about the episode as well as last night's IG Live because the liquor was flowing and so were the words. Okay, the tea was being spilt, honey. So before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and let's get into the review. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the tweets. Damn. They refer to Trina as leftovers, Jeremy as the Grim Reaper, outed Olivia for faking her connection. Charlie now knows that America thinks he's boring. Stale bread, baby, stale bread. And Bailey being disingenuous. I kind of thought that one came out of nowhere, but I was like, oh, okay. I guess they had to do something for everybody, right? So, obviously, the biggest casualty was Will and Kira. Now, let's get into this live, okay? If you haven't seen the live, literally just search it up on YouTube. It'll be there. Everybody who was on the live was Giovanni, Kashinko, Wes, and Amy, right? And they all were basically saying they don't trust that connection. They don't trust Kira's intentions for coming on the show because she had just done a lot of research about the show. She had started following people before even knowing who for sure was in the cast, and her connection with Will, like them knowing each other beforehand was something that Amy was like, no, they knew each other. They knew it. Like she was adamant on saying they knew each other, and it was frustrating her that everybody else had to work hard to, not spoil the show basically when she already had a leg up. And Giovanni was like, you know what, now that you say it, she did know a lot about us and the show and everything like the first couple days. And it's like, how do you know that? So the suspicions that we the public have are the same suspicions that ex-Islanders have, so keeping an eye on that. As always, Will is deflecting from the situation.
With floor conversation, we're pretty pretty
standard, surface level.
Surface level, surface level, like where you come from, like what you do,
Again, according to the live, the guys who, well, it was really only Cinco who was there during Casa Amor, but he was basically saying Will was different. His mannerisms were different. His energy was different. He was the one actually seeking out Flo, which is a completely different narrative than the one he's trying to spin in the house right now, which is that Flo was fully onto him and everything was surface level. Everything was whatever. Clearly, it wasn't as surface as you're insinuating. Clearly. Of everybody in the house at that time, Cinco was basically the closest person to Will. So for him to even say like, nah, the vibe was different, you've got to kind of take his word for it. You know what I mean? So our suspicions of Will seem to be true. I mean, the fact that they have mismatched intentions for this relationship, and he is somehow convinced Kira to concede on the things that she wants just to be with him. And I feel like, not that he's deliberately brainwashing her, but he's kind of put her in this lulled sense of reality where she has forgotten what she came here for. I mean, incessantly researching the show. I mean, she came here for like a specific outcome, and that's not going to be the outcome when you're with Will. You know what I mean? At the end of the episode, they finally confront her. Well, she actually asks for once. She asks for the girls' opinions, and they're like, yeah, we don't trust him. And it's starting to get the gears turning into her in her mind. And even Bailey was like, have you even asked what he wants from this? And she's like, no, I actually haven't. Girl. So in the next episode, we do see her doubting now. And really, that's all we wanted. For me personally, it's not that I wanted them to combust, but I just wanted her to be a little bit more analytical when it comes to Will. And even after all your thorough investigation, if you still want him, cool. That's you.
Every time she says something, it's, Will has opened me up to make me feel this way. I feel this because of Will. It's like Kira is losing herself in yet another guy.
But she doesn't realize it. And I think that's where we need to come in and let her know.
I had more on Will and Kira, but honestly, since the whole episode The whole thing was about them. I get it. Cash is gone. There's nothing else to talk about. I get it. But yeah, I had more written down, but I'm just like, I'm over it. She was basically just saying that she has a history of losing herself in men, and here she is doing it again. I find it funny how it's the two girls talking about it, but whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, moving on to Olivia and Corey. They were kind of disheartened by the tweets because they feel like their connection is real.
I believe you, obviously, over.
That was just more awkward for me. I was just like, wow. Like, I mean, it's safe to say, like, I think I'm falling for Corey, which is crazy.
The thing that makes it hard for me personally to believe Olivia is the fact that she strung Giovanni along for way longer than she needed to. When she described her perfect man time and time again, it was anybody but Corey, it seems like. You know what I mean? Unless they're not showing a side of Corey that aligns with who she's wanted, that's not what has been shown to us. You know what I mean? And then on the live, everybody besides Cash was like, yeah, we don't get it. We don't get it. Never saw it. Don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, Cash, baby girl, she's pulling a get out on you. Like, she has taken your brain, put it in her body, and is now you. I get it, y'all was besties, but I don't sound exactly like my bestie child. She is Cash reincarnated. And it's kind of scary. At the end of the day, like I said, they're both 29, they're both grown. They decide to be together, they decide to be together. I just feel like it's a Villa thing. Something in my gut, I'm going to channel my mother for those who were here when my mother was here. Something in my gut is telling me it's not going to last long. If I'm wrong, I will swallow my words. If I'm right, thank you, mama. So we finally got a more sensitive side from Jeremy in this episode. I will not be fooled.
I really don't have high self-esteem at all. I feel like I have a very low self-esteem.
Really?
It's just how I am. I've never been like a very like prideful at all, and I think like maybe go too much in the other direction.
It's so weird how, like, if you guys have been here from like the first Love Island USA this season episode, I was vouching for Jeremy, like his character, the type of relationship that he was looking for. Like, I was here for him. But then time and time again, we just saw him chasing anything with a heartbeat. So it was like, nah, it's a mismatch for me. So even if they try to spin it now, like they're trying to show more funny sides of him on the bonus, like he was strutting the heels, which he was really good at. I'm gonna leave it there. And I'm just like, it's kind of hard for me to change my opinion on him now. For those who find him funny and entertaining, that's great. That's cool. But I just feel like who they presented at first and who we've seen throughout the season just don't align. So I'm still not on the train. I'm sorry. Andre and Trina are just vibing.
The food the next day tastes even better. I'm happy with my leftovers. I wouldn't share my leftovers with anybody here.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Good.
I know there's a lot of talk on Twitter talking about, oh, y'all said y'all weren't gonna do a sympathy vote for the black girl. I don't even think it's a sympathy vote at this point. If I was voting, I don't even have the app at this point because Cash is gone. But if I were voting, it would just be because I don't believe in the couples that are there. Will and Kira, no. Olivia and Corey for the time being. And the next thing that just gives me actual joy is seeing Trina and Andre. Do I think they'll actually become anything? No, I don't. I think they'll just end as friends, and that's completely fine. But I wouldn't consider that a pity vote. I honestly just see it as voting for whoever you feel like is your favorite person at this point. And people were saying, oh, you vote for one person to win the money. No, that's not how it goes. You vote for your favorite couple. And then from there, they give 2 envelopes to both people. One has the money and one doesn't. And it's up to the person who has the money to decide whether they're going to share or not. At least that's how I remember. If I'm wrong, fine, correct me. But if we have to vote for 2 people as a unit, I can't get behind Will and Kara, and I can't get behind Corey and Olivia. I just can't. So the next option is Trina and Andre. Y'all are so rude for calling her leftovers, though. Wow, y'all are savage. So yeah, the next episode is just seeing whether or not Kira and Will make it past this hurdle. I just think it's funny how Will genuinely does not see the error in his ways, and that's fine. But if this is how he is now with cameras, girl, and he don't want no labels, girl, he gonna step out on you and be like, oh, but we ain't nothing. Oh, couldn't be me. Until then, this is a long 6 days, you guys. This is a long 6 days. Until then, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow.